गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Jnaneshwar Maharaj is again and again telling us to focus on this principle of sentiency. Our attention by default, because of long practice, is only on the name and form, is only about the differences, is only about the world, is only about the inert matter, is only about the imagination, it's only about the projection, it's only about the illusion, it's only about the ephemeral which is coming and going. It's never about the conscious principle. Jnaneshwar Maharaj's entire attempt is to again and again remind us that we are that sentiency, that we are that conscious principle, we are that life principle which is throbbing in and through in spite of the thoughts, the convictions, the breath, the body. We are the constant one. And it's that simple. Now you can complicate it by thinking, or you can just be. Here he says, Devi pahavaya ajnana aise he angi pise kaise na pahata apaise na pahane chiki. This is, we are in verse number 76, chapter number 7, Ajnana Khandana, denial of the ignorance. From where has this foolish idea to discover the ignorance entered your head? I have to remove ignorance. Can you remove ignorance, bloody? You can't. Can you remove darkness? You can't. You have to be the light. That's all. Don't try to attempt to remove the darkness. You don't say, I'm going to remove the darkness, then I'm going to bring the light. All you do is focus on bringing the light, darkness automatically goes. Same way with yourself. What is darkness? What is ignorance? The multiplicity, the variety. Don't try to remove it. Instead, try to be the infinite. Not try, be the infinite, be the total. Automatically, the issues at the ground level, they will vanish. As we rise higher and higher into the sky, the problems between the neighbors, the problems of traffic, everything merges. It becomes insignificant as you go higher and higher. If that is true at the physical level, how much more true it will be when we move from individuality to totality? Everything will merge into one. It's not worth giving attention to. ठीक है. Oh, can you see from the plane? Can you see those cars? Can you see those houses? Can you see those people? Can you see that dog barking? छोड़ यार. Even though it is all there, but it is insignificant. In the same way, from where have you got this foolish idea to discover the position of ignorance in the pure self? In the bright sun, sun is always bright, huh? I'm just using bright sun. In the bright sun, there is never any darkness, nor there is ever any light from sun's point of view. Similarly, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. What is this self? It is the light of all lights. And what is that darkness compared to this light? That is the ignorance. Is it ever possible? This ignorance cannot be established by any means because it is not. Whether one talks of accepting ignorance or removing it, or dropping ignorance or transcending it, all these discussions have no meaning. How true it is. Same way. How true it is. Use these words same way. Whether one talks of accepting the dream or removing the dream, or dropping the dream or transcending the dream. How foolish it is. Because what is dream? Mithya, which exists in its own absence. So is true about the waking world. We have given it validity. Start giving validity by accepting yourself as the sentient principle, as the life principle. Then automatically, if all our attention is on this life principle, then it is not available to the variety. It will automatically, whatever is there, it will go or not go, who cares? Our goal is not to check every time I go and think of the life principle, the consciousness that I am. अच्छा वर्ल्ड चला गया क्या? फिर थोड़ी सी आंख खोल के देख लो, गए, फंस गए. जैसी आंख खोली, टैक्स लोटो के नंबर आ जाएंगे आधे दिमाग में. गया. The fact is that other than the supreme I, nothing else is. Therefore, the ignorance being essentially absent, seeing or not seeing it is the same. The day and night being essentially absent, from sun's point of view, they are or they are not. It does not matter. The dream being essentially absent, whether it is there or not there, has got no meaning. To who? To us, who have woken up. When we wake up from this waking to the conscious principle that we are, then whether the waking world and the relationships and the possessions, the name and form, everything is there or not there, who will be there to care? Individual will not be there thereafter. Oh my God, nothing will be there. Then what will happen? I put 50 years taking care of my family, gathering memories. I have to go and relive through my, through my photo album, how from hardship and poor background I came and how successful I have become. All that will be taken away. Yes. Everything, because everything is an illusion. In the sense, everything, whether it is there or not there, has got no meaning from consciousness point of view. Ignorance is valid only when you give importance to knowledge. Darkness is valid only when there is light. If there is no light, there is no darkness. They both coexist, day and night. Husband and wife coexist. Eyes and the color and form, they coexist. Tongue and the taste coexist. Therefore, the ignorance being essentially absent, seeing or not seeing seeing it is the same. Whether one accepts or does not accept ignorance make no difference to the reality. So question is, who is accepting and who is not accepting it? Who is making what we had just now read? Oh, this is so deep, man. Oh, this is so difficult to understand. It's only words. It's playing with my mind. Who is saying this? Who is saying it? Individual. And who are you? Infinite. Individual, as much as he may do or not do, he will always have problems, because he is giving validation to the differences. But that same individual consciousness, that same I, when it discovers by contemplating on the infinite one that he is the infinite and comes to be the infinite, that very moment, everything stops having an impact on him. Just like the moment you go to sleep, everything in this world stops having an impact on your mind. You accept that, don't you? Why is it so difficult to be the consciousness and the moment you are consciousness, being the consciousness, looking at everything as, if at all, as the self, then there is nothing to worry, nothing to comment upon, nothing to run away from, nothing to run towards, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. These thoughts will not appear in the mind. Why? Consciousness is ever complete. Nothing is lacking in it. By nature it is complete. By nature it is all pervasive. By nature it is all knowledge. By nature it is all bliss. And that you are. Think. When the world is accepted as Dvandvatmaka, meaning with duality, with opposites, as existing in the mutually cancelling pairs of opposites, then one will no longer be disturbed by the birth or death of the wave, because the reality is the ocean. See, automatically my thoughts go in that direction. I already said the eyes and the colors and forms are coexisting. The tongue and the taste and the tongue and the taste is coexisting. The ears and the sound are coexisting. The darkness and the light and dark is coexisting. See, this is Dandvatmaka, but it is coexisting. Day and night is coexisting. And once you accept it, all you have to do is accept that this is how the world is. Usme, in that, there is no why me, why I have to go through all this, why I got this disease, why did I become a sannyasi, why did I get married, why do I have this type of child, why my child is not getting married, why I didn't get married, blah, blah, blah. There is no end to this. There will always be some dialogue coming out. But once you accept the world is a pairs of opposites, full stop, and genuinely accept it, not just because I said so or the Jnaneshwar Maharaj said so. It is your direct experience. You are seeing it. You have never looked at it in that way, but the same world you look at with these eyes. That yes, everything is in the opposites. And opposites cannot exist independently. In and out are coexisting. Up and down is coexisting. East and west is coexisting. North and south is coexisting. Everything is coexisting in this creation. And once it is accepted as such, that very moment, this world of duality, it loses impact on us. You will not linger in anything that the world is presenting. Why the health is not, why am I not feeling well? It is like that only. छोड़ो यार, कुछ और बात करते हैं. अच्छा, there is a big storm coming in New Zealand. अच्छा, it is coming, full stop. Next topic. Nothing will make an impact. Everything will be accepted. When this happens, nothing creates an impression on the mind because you are accepting the world is like this only. World creates an impression on your mind by way of thought only when we give attention to some specific. This is the general principle, that world is like this only, or it is full of opposites and all the opposites coexist. It's the principle. About what? About the world. It is not only inside and outside coexist, but top and bottom don't coexist. ऐसे नहीं है. Everything in this creation. It's freeing. Then as Swamiji says, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं. Then there's no problem, then there's no issue in this world. Why? Everything is alright, man. Why it is alright? Because your attention is on the conscious principle. Because your attention is on the conscious principle that I am. No longer be disturbed by the birth and death of the waves, because the reality is the ocean. Does ocean get affected by the birth and death of the waves? No. Does the gold get affected by the creation of ornaments or melting of ornaments? No. Does the mud get affected by being molded into a pot and then again broken back? No. Decide which one are you. Are you the one who becomes the waker and then it goes out of existence, or becomes the dreamer and goes out of existence? Or are you the one who is like the mud is the constant? The waker comes and goes, the dreamer comes and goes, the absence of the two also comes and goes. Which one are we? In Kathopanishad, this thought came, which we saw. The eyes are illuminating all the colors and forms, but eyes are same. They are not attached to anything. The ears are not attached to any sound. If they were attached to any sound, then they will think of only one sound. They will only want to hear that. But they are open. All types of sounds come, create a vibration and go away. Same thing with the nose, same thing the tongue, same thing the skin. Go deeper. The mind is not disturbed by seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. Mind alone is expressing as seeing, hearing, touching, feeling. It allows all the stimuli to come. It doesn't say, I like only the eyes, I don't like the ears, I like only the ears, I don't like the tongue. Nothing like that. Equally available to all of them. without like and dislike. Go further back. The I accepts the waker I, the dreamer I, the sleeper I to come and go every day. It has got no likes or dislikes towards one. It is already happening. This is already your position. Scriptures are only acting as a mirror to show you what is true. Then who is this? Who is getting attached? Bhoot hai. मैं बकरी की तरह मैं करते रहो. I. Is identification between the consciousness and the body possible? No. Can oil and water mix together? Never. Can the consciousness, which is of the nature of Satchidananda and infinite, and body which is finite, can infinite and finite ever get married, come into union? Not possible. And yet, this impossibility is expressing, we have accepted it. How stupid can we be here? We are inflicting problems on ourselves by this acceptance that I am the body. Understand? It is like this only. Even though logically it is impossible, yet it is happening. That which is not possible and yet it is happening, it is called mithya, illusion. Accept it. Once you accept, then there is a possibility that, okay, then what's the real? Instead of nurturing and solidifying the likes and dislikes for these pairs of opposites, one should transcend the dvandva by seeing the Lord's presence in all of them. This was our meditation today. That go beyond the likes and dislikes. The more you... What are these likes and dislikes for? For those opposites. For those you have the likes and dislikes. And you are creating impressions and extending your individuality. This life and the next life. Oh, I think I'm like this. Why I am so unique compared to others? If everyone is same, why I am so different from others? It must be because I did something in the last life. I came with a blueprint, That's why I'm getting all these successes or failures. Again, you have got caught up in something. Success and failures, likes and dislikes. Get out. It is like that. But are there not people, some people just like banana, some people don't like banana? Yes, accept. World is like this. Everything cannot be that everyone has to follow the same. It is not possible. At relative level, everyone will have a different personality. Accept it. Why that person was so friendly and today is not friendly? Accept it. होगा उसके जीवन में कुछ problem. Some issue must be there. Maybe he had disturbed sleep. Maybe he was bitten by the bed bugs all night. That's why he is cranky in the morning. Maybe early in the morning he got the prasad of wife scolding. Some reason could be how, if we can't even work out what our mind is, are we going to try and work out what others' mind is? Why they are behaving the way they are behaving? Stupidity. And therefore, here Do not divide the world into likes and dislikes. Accept everything, or in other words, be equanimous to everything. Because the more the likes and dislikes we create, the more concretized the world becomes in our mind. Concretized, another word, crystallized the world becomes. If the world becomes crystallized, the individuality also becomes crystallized. World and individuality is one and the same, coexisting. Then how do I live? Live through everything joyfully, without accepting or not accepting, without creating likes, without creating dislikes. नहीं, पर कहीं तो अटेंशन देना पड़ेगा ना. आई हैव टू गिव अटेंशन सम. यस, गिव अटेंशन टू योर कॉन्शियस प्रिंसिपल. बी अटेंटिव ऑफ योर आई. Or here, as Swamiji says, one should transcend the dvandva, the opposites, by seeing the Lord's presence in all of them. So first step is accept the world of opposites. Second is shift the attention, at the same time be attentive towards the conscious principle or towards the Lord. And see that this Lord alone is expressing as consciousness here and consciousness everywhere. He is the material cause of the whole creation. I don't have the eyes to see that everything is the Lord alone. A wave cannot see itself in the image of the Lord, the ocean. It sees only itself as a wave. And when will it happen? When it gives up its individuality and merges into the ocean. But is it not already the ocean? Yes. Then what does it have to do? Can it give up individuality? No, it cannot give up individuality because it did not create it. Then what can it do? All it can do is stop thinking about other waves and only with ekagrata, with one clear intention, contemplate on what is that totality, what is that which is my essence, which is pervading through me. Rather than giving validity to all the variety of waves, it puts all its attention towards its essence. And what is the essence? What is the spirit of the wave? You also call, my spirit, my soul. What is the soul or spirit of the wave? Water. Is water one per wave? Or water by nature is infinite? Water by nature is infinite. If this example is clear, how stupid we are to think I am individual. Individual consciousness cannot be individual. Consciousness by nature is infinite. Then how is this individuality? अरे यार फिर फंस गए. Why it has come? लगे रहो फिर. Don't try to work out the world. Don't try to work out a solution for the opposites. There is no solution. For the illusion, there is no solution. Solution lies only in being the infinite or being the total, whichever way works. It's that simple. It's that simple. In that way, one's attention will be on the peace of the heart and not the noise in the heart. Not to compromise the peace of one's mind is the supreme spiritual sadhana. What is the noise in the heart? Is the self-talk which is going on. What is that self-talk due to? Due to doubts, due to giving validity to the world of opposites, taking the roles that you are playing very seriously. All that mixed salad, it creates all the thoughts and continuously it is going on. Replace it with God's name. Replace it with contemplation. Even while playing the role, keep your attention on the infinite. Accept where you are. Don't reject where you are. Don't retain where you are. So accept the world, don't reject the world, but don't retain the world. Don't allow the world to become a memory. The world becomes a memory only when you divide it as like or dislike. Yesterday in the satsang, someone came. Where is our attention? Not on the person. Oh, what a nice dress you are wearing. Oh, thank you. And some people, oh, you have lost weight. I have to lose more, Where is your attention? On the clothes. Where is your attention? On the body. But is your attention on the spirit? On the conscious principle? Because this is what we are practicing, so that is what comes out when we look at the world. Think. Under any set of circumstance, at any given moment, you are always there in this world somewhere or the other. Either in the waking you are somewhere, right now you are here, after this you will be doing whatever you have to do. Again, every moment throughout the 24 hours, there is some situation you find yourself in. You will find yourself sitting in a chair with a cup of tea, or you have to make the tea, or someone makes the tea for you, or you are watching a TV, or you are in a satsang, or you are with your family, or with your grandchildren. Some circumstance will always be there in this 24 hours. Are those circumstances that you find yourself in, are they precipitating as memory, or are you just passing through them? Are you when you are passing through them, are you going through them peacefully with a joy in your heart, without attachment? Or, oh, that curry was very nice. Yesterday's paneer bhaji was very nice. The lauki bhaji was very nice. What is the recipe? I want to make it like this and taste again. Can you make the same thing again next week? हो गया. क्या हो गया? Like precipitate हो गया. Crystallized. It has got crystallized as a memory. Yes, it is good. Okay. Oh, story over. Then we want to own it. I want the recipe. I will also try to duplicate it. Or can you make it again? This is how we entangle ourselves in our mind. And then it will not stop there. Then in the car also we will be talking about the same thing. Then after going home also we will talking about next day, यार वो लौकी की सब्जी बहुत अच्छी बनी थी ना, that vegetable was very nice. It was so simple, it was so tasty. 2 days still thinking about it. Imagine how deep the memory has gone. This is what we do with our relations, this is what we do with our diseases, this is what we do with our successes and failures. Keep thinking about them again and again and again and again, until and unless we don't take this whole world to be a play of opposites and just accept it as it is. Yeah, ऐसी है. Then it is possible to transcend or go beyond. But if in that world of events and experiences, if you give some experiences validity and some experiences no validity, no importance, because you have likes and dislikes. I like health, I don't like ill health. गया काम से. In that way, one's attention will be on the peace of the heart, not on the noise in the heart. Not to compromise the peace of one's mind is the supreme spiritual sadhana. So, at a very, very gross level, continue to expose yourself to such environment, such thinking, such disposition which brings peace to your mind. Are Swamiji, best place is sleep. Well, then sleep. At least you are away from everything. One day you will wake up. 3 days of sleep. 3 days, no data going into the mind. Are kya wonderful. You will be so relaxed. I was for 20 days, I had gone to the Ayurveda treatment. For 21 days, all I did was go to the treatment, and rest of the time I am doing my japa. That's all. Sometimes japa, sometimes in meditation. 20 days, I never get that chance here. And just by chance, someone from America, some Indian and Sri Lankan people from there, they saw me in this dress and they saw, Swamiji, we have some questions. Okay, oh, half an hour, 45 minutes of satsang, no problem here and there. But it was only satsang, it was not about the world. The moment they start talk about world, I get up and come back to my room. Oh, I have to take medicine. Nikal jao. But 20 days. And after that, then I had lectures in Pune, I had lectures in Delhi, in Bombay. Oh my God, so much traffic. Oh my God, so many questions. Oh my God, again I have to speak. For one moment those thoughts came, but then you just accept it. That was that, this is this. See? No, I want to be in an Ayurveda ashram for the rest of my life. It was so wonderful. Or kadvi dawai and all the bitter pills you keep taking all your life. It's not. Your attitude towards life can remain the same. But life will never remain the same. It is full of opposites. It will keep changing. But what is your attitude towards it? Do you like or dislike some part of the change and like other part of the other side? Or this is my attitude is, or my disposition is, the world is like this only. Just accept it. Automatically peace. Automatically no mental conversation going on about the world. Why? You have accepted the world is like this only. But mind's job is what? Mind's job is to think. To imagine that I want an empty mind, that is also wrong. Because mind's nature is to think. It will think. But is it thinking at a 200 bullets per second, or is it thinking one thought in half a minute, one thought in 1 minute? What is our disposition? That a continuous dialogue is going on in our mind, like a tape recorder going on and on and on. Some people are like that. Swamiji, I went to the interview. Swamiji, I went to the interview. The interviewer asked me. After 5 minutes they come. Swamiji, did I tell you that I went to the interview? And they asked me. 10 times they repeat the same thing. You can make out what their mind is going through. If they have spoken to you 10 times the same thing, they must have spoken to themselves 100 times. Then literally I have to cut them off. Hey, you already told me 3 times. What did I say? They don't even know that they have said it. That unaware they are. Swamiji, you also repeat the same thing over and over again. Jnaneshwar Maharaj is also repeating the same thing over and over again. But what is that which we are repeating? It is important. We are repeating the principles. And these principles are helpful. One day, any one of these principles clicks, you are with yourself. You will be yourself. So better exposed to these principles than just unwanted thoughts of the world. Therefore, eva kone hi pari ajnana bhavachi uzari na padeci nagari vicharache. Thus the kingdom of discrimination of the presence of ignorance is never possible. What words he uses. Thus the kingdom of discrimination of the presence of ignorance. That means, remember, what is ignorance? From our Shastras we say, avidya kama karma. Avidya is ignorance, leads to desires which lead to action. So what is the kingdom? Kingdom of the ignorance is desires and action. All this is not possible because it never existed. Continuing the thought, aho kon he hi vele atma athava vegale vicharache dole dekhate ka. Listen, O my dear one, the Atman can never be of the nature of ignorance. Besides, can one ever think of ignorance to exist apart from Atman, even for a moment? Oh, listen, if ignorance did exist, it should have been possible to establish the existence of ignorance in the Atman. If we say ignorance existed, then we should have been able to establish it, but we are not able to establish it. It should have been possible to establish the existence of ignorance in the Atman by some means of inquiry through discrimination or wisdom. But we have tried everything. How many now? 78 verses we are looking at. Till now we have looked at it from all different angles. But still it's slipping. Because it doesn't exist. You can establish objects. This is a table, this is a chair, this is a body, this is a curtain. But can you establish absence? You can establish objects, but can you establish absence? Have you seen absence? You have seen objects. But the emptiness between the objects, have you seen the emptiness? Is it an object of cognition? Can you see, hear, touch, feel, taste it? Is emptiness having any dimensions? Any form? Can you see, hear, feel, taste, touch it? But you use the word absence so loosely. है ना मजेदार चीज. We use it in our daily parlance, but we have never experienced absence. We experienced objects. Very loosely we say, my mind is destroyed, my mind is happy. Have you ever experienced your mind? See. So there is no way, no logic, no prakriya by no analysis by which we can prove the presence of, at the worldly level, the absence, and at the total level, the ignorance. We cannot establish ignorance. We have tried everything till now. So many methods have been tried to prove ignorance, but it is not possible since it is said to be anadi, etc. But all these methods only arrive at the same conclusion again and again, that ignorance just cannot exist in the Atman. Just as darkness cannot ever exist in the sun, similarly, ignorance cannot exist in the Atman, the pure self. Now you apply the same rule. The wife can never exist in the woman. The mother cannot exist in the woman. Because what is at that relative level? Woman is the truth. Wife, mother, sister, they are illusions. Sometimes they are there, sometimes they are not. Try to prove as much as you want to prove. You cannot establish them. You cannot catch them in the woman. They as if appear, they as if disappear. But you have never been able to catch the woman. It's only an imagination in your head. You cannot establish that. So similarly, we cannot prove or establish darkness in the sun. And for that matter, even light in the sun we cannot establish. Because they are phenomena. Similarly, we cannot establish ignorance in the self that we are. That ignorance just cannot exist in the Atman, nor can it exist independent of the Atman. This point we have seen before. If ignorance was to exist independently of the Atman, then Atma is one existence and ignorance in one existence. There will be two existences. But our Upanishads roar, there is only one reality, and that is existence, consciousness and bliss. So there is only one existence. If you say ignorance exists separate to Atmic existence, then you are creating two existences. Oh, but is it not true? I am existing and you are existing. We are two existences. That's your foolishness. This is what we want to get out of. You are a phenomena, I am a phenomena. Phenomena teaching a phenomena. About what? That which cannot be taught. Oh, chal raha hai drama. Drama chal raha hai. But in this phenomena of teaching or studying the scriptures might help us transcend the phenomena. Because scriptures are also part of the phenomena only. But they are not establishing individuality. They are not establishing the world of differences. They are promoting the unifying principle. They are promoting the transcendental principle. And not as a object somewhere. They are saying you are that. And they are saying you don't have to remain loyal to us. You use us, bring your attention to the conscious principle that you are, which we are propagating, and once you come to know that, you drop us also. No other scripture in the world has the guts to say that, except the Upanishads. So where is this dialogue taking place? In the phenomena. And what is that we are talking about? We are talking about being that eternal pure self, and in that pure self, doubts, ignorance, from ignorance comes doubt. All this is not possible. Now accept it and give it the benefit of the doubt. That yes, at this moment, I understand what they are saying, it is very freeing, but it is not my disposition at this moment. But I'll keep working towards it. Rather than establishing the world as real, I'll keep working on establishing that the consciousness that I am is the real, all-pervasive principle. This I, which I consider myself to be an individual, is essentially the infinite one. What are the obstacles? What is that because of which I am feeling I am an individual? Work it out. You will find you are identified with the body. That is why you feel you are an individual. So as long as we keep our attention on the body, individuality will continue. Shift the attention to the conscious principle, the sentiency, the life principle. The form will stop having an impact on you because you are unavailable to it. These experiments we have to do in our life, not live in a default mode. For that, alertness is required. Every moment, vigilance officer must be there in the mind. You are watching what thoughts are coming. Are they conducive to my growth, or are they taking me back to the world? Are these thoughts freeing me of individuality, or they are going to concretize the individuality further? So all these thoughts, yes, individual alone is speaking, individual alone is hearing. But what are these thoughts? Are they concretizing your individuality, or are they helping you to go beyond the phenomena? Dekho, that is the healthy approach. That is satsang. The relationship between the Atman and ignorance is a strange one, being a relationless relationship. You cannot remove ignorance. and you cannot establish ignorance. Yeah, what a funny jagah hai. It's very funny. See? All inquiries about ignorance only lead to silence. Once we have exhausted deliberating and trying to work out the validity of ignorance, as we have done, as Jnaneshwar Maharaj has done in the last 77, 78 verses, from all different angles, can't establish, and yet it is seen. So you become quiet. ना निर्धाराचे तोंड न माखे, प्रमाण स्वप्नी ही नायके, की निरुती हनमुखे अनसाईपणा. It cannot be established by inquiry or by any means of knowledge, even in the dream. Thus, it naturally loses independent existence and identity. It loses its existence and identity. Which existence? Independent existence. What can independently exist? Look at the world. Outside, we are looking. What is independently existing? I am asking. What is independently existing?
Nothing. Nature, Swami.
One by one?
Nothing.
Nothing. What else? Say it in another way.
Space.
Space. Correct. Space is independently existing, unaffected by air, fire, water, earth, isn't it? Untouched. Is your mind affected by the thoughts?
Yes.
Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, the stimuli are coming. Mind is only a container where everything is being poured into by the senses. Mind is not affected by it. You are imagining that you are emotional. You are imagining you are getting old. You are imagining you are a man or a woman. You have taken that position. But for the mind, stimuli are coming, stimuli are going away. That's all. That's what it does. Then intellect takes that and concretizes it, depending upon where the intellect's attention is. If the intellect's attention is on the conscious principle, all these stimuli have got no impact on the conscious principle, because that attention is not available to these stimuli. If the attention is available to the health or ill health, then all other stimuli are disregarded. Only the stimuli with reference to health and ill health are given importance. होता है ना? Or when you are hungry, the attention is only on the nourishment. Just undo yourself in thinking in this manner, that how we have made a fool out of ourselves. No attachment is possible, but we have become attached. No ignorance is possible, but we establish ignorance. No desire is possible. Why? Because the consciousness is all pervasive, and yet we are living as if we are a desiring person. We live as we are the infinite consciousness, but accepting ourselves as individual consciousness. How stupid can we get? Remember Gaunatma, Mithyatma and Mukhyatma in Panchadashi. Remember that? Gaunatma was the virtual self, father, mother, daughter, sister. Mithyatma is the individual self. And who are you essentially? Mukhyatma, the eternal self. How stupid can we get? It's all a game of attention. Thus, it naturally, what loses naturally? The ignorance naturally loses independent existence and identity, because by any means of knowledge, by logic, by nyaya, by discrimination, by inquiry, anyway, it cannot be established. Neither inquiry or any means can establish ignorance with conviction, nor can any of the means of knowledge succeed in establishing the existence of ignorance, even in the dream. In this way, all efforts to establish ignorance, and only in silence, Adi Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, verse 109, this avidya is neither existent sat, nor non-existence asat, nor a mixture of both. It is neither made up of parts, nor is it whole, nor both. It is neither same, nor different, nor both. It is most wonderful and beyond description by words, anirvachaniya. It is a wonderment. And this is what the world is. All these things apply to the world. All these, you read this again and again, then you apply to the woman, to the roles that you are playing, the mother, daughter, same thing you will find. Same thing you apply all these this verse of Vivek Chudamani to your mind, it will be exactly the same. Applied to deep sleep, it same way, same conclusion you will come to. Applied to Maya, same thing. When at the totality level, we call it Maya, Anirvachaniya, the most wondrous. That which cannot be explained is wonderful. It's a wonderment. The rainbow in the sky appears. How can one light appear as seven? But it appears and then gives you the joy and goes away. Anirvachaniya. You cannot catch it, you cannot hold it, you cannot store it. It's a phenomena. Same thing, mirage waters. It's a phenomena. You can't drink the water. You see the water, but you can't drink it. Phenomena. Mother is a phenomena. Wife is a phenomena. Don't try to own it. Don't stop at mother and daughter and wife. Grandmother also is a phenomena. Individuality also is a phenomena. Mind is also a phenomena. Question is our attention on the phenomena, or is our attention on the constant principle, which is the conscious principle? But this was important. We tried to look at the phenomena from all different angles, but we are not able to establish it. We cannot prove that it exists, yet our senses are showing that it exists. Our mind is saying that it exists. One phenomena is saying that other phenomena exists. Itself is a part of the total phenomena. This is the wonderment. And whenever we are in wonderment, or here the word used is anirvachaniya, the thinking stops. When you look at the beautiful rainbow, as if it's created a doorway on the monastery way, and you are going through it, words stop. You stop breathing also for one moment. Just now someone sent me a YouTube one link. In 20 seconds, the sun, the moon has risen from this point of the earth, taken a circle, gone around the sun, and then again gone back into the earth. Such a huge moon must be near the poles somewhere. Anirvachaniya. Just a fascinating 20-second video. And if someone has taken it, must have happened somewhere on this earth. Anirvachaniya. Don't we say, I can't work out my wife, I can't work out my husband. Anirvachaniya. Except that's how it is. Shift your attention to the conscious principle. Therefore, to try to establish ignorance is an impossible undertaking. See, how do we undertake this undertaking of establishing ignorance? By asking questions like, why this world is like this? Why there are wars there? Why my wife is like this? Why did I get disease? Why I never did anything bad to anyone, but why all the wrong or bad experiences are coming to me? Bad health is coming to me, job is not coming to me. I have not done any bad to anyone. I have never thought bad to anyone. Why? Because the sky is high. Then we want to try and work out why this could be happening. Oh, it could be because the Saturn has come into my graha. Shani ka कोप लगा हुआ है. Then we try to find, we want to put the blame on someone or somebody. If we can't find someone, then some object or some event or some experience. We don't want to come to this conclusion that it's okay, this is how the world is, let it be. Rather than be disturbed by what is taking place in the world, shift your attention to this conscious principle. The world will stop having an impact on our mind. Which is smarter? To try to work out that which can never be worked out, or try to be from where nothing matters. And that experience, I am repeating again, that a glimpse of it you get. You go into deep sleep, the world doesn't matter. So be consciously, shift your attention to the consciousness. Ignorance will not matter, meaning Maya will not matter, the world will not matter, the variety will not matter. In other words, where is all this? In the mind. Mind will not matter. It will stop. Matter means it will not stop having an impact on you because you are not available to the mind. You are available to the conscious principle. Not conscious principle as a thought. If conscious principle is only a thought in your mind, then any time you can fall. Mind can find some way to entrap you again. But if your attention is on the conscious principle that you essentially are, which is beyond thought, even while thinking about it, be that. Then the impact of the mind becomes null and void. Where the mind's impact becomes null and void, within few moments it will become silent. Who? The mind will become silent. Mind becomes activated only when attention to the mind is given. Ignorance gets activated when attention to ignorance is given. And what does ignorance get activated as? Kama and karma, desire and activity. Don't give it attention. Desires will not erupt. If desires don't erupt, you unnecessarily will not get involved in activity. See how everything is connected? Therefore, to try to establish ignorance is an impossible undertaking. 80th OV. इतुलिया ही भागू अज्ञानाचा तरी तो मागू निघे ऐसा बागू पढ़ता का देवा. With all these efforts, if ignorance were discovered, it would have been comforting. But alas, no way can ever lead to establish ignorance. We have already said. He is also again and again saying the same thing. So that once and for all, we stop working out the ignorance and its expression. What is expression of ignorance? This world, this illusion, this phenomena. Oh Maharaj, this being the case, can you ever find out a way by which ignorance can be established? Lord Krishna says, the unreal never is, the real never is not. The constant is ever, the changing is never. Now find out what is changing. Is wife the constant? Is husband the constant? Is waker the constant? Is dreamer the constant? Is sleeper the constant? Then why are we putting all our eggs in the waking basket and establishing it again and again on a daily basis that this is real? And where should be our attention in the waking? On the one who is illuminating the waker, dreamer and a sleeper. Recognize. When will that happen? When you recognize that the waking, dream and deep sleep, the waking is a phenomena, it's a play between the waker, waking world and the waking instrument. The dream is the phenomena, a play between the dreamer, dream world and the dream instrument, between the dream body. And deep sleep is the absence of the two. When you understand all the three are phenomena, then will you give importance to the waking world so much? The only reason we give importance to the waking world is because we have not given attention to the conscious principle. Attention has to go somewhere. So it goes back to the world, it goes back to the body. It goes back to the virtual roles. Therefore, ignorance has no meaning in the Shuddha Chaitanya, pure consciousness. When the knowingness aspect is withdrawn, only sentiency remains. Then there is no more experience of good and bad. Once the knowingness aspect is fully brought under control, what is this knowingness aspect? Are you knowing the variety, or is your attention on the constant principle? Then one discovers that ignorance, which was mistakenly held responsible for all one's life, all one's ills and sorrows, is totally destroyed. This is just a language. You will not be there to recognize that it is destroyed. That's why when someone goes and asks a Mahatma, Swami, please tell me what is Maya, he just laughs. He just laughs. And there are many people who are very sincerely talking, writing about Maya. Is it ever possible then to establish ignorance by any means? That which is not cannot be proved to exist. Let us therefore attack knowingness, which is the cause of suffering, and not ignorance. Knowingness means the capacity within you which is giving validity to ignorance. Don't give validity. Give validity to the consciousness by putting attention towards the consciousness. देखो कितना, how simple he has made it for us. After all the 70-80 verses, this is the crux. Don't put attention on the changing, put attention on the changeless. What is that called? Discrimination. What are the four qualities? Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvan. The first step in Vivek Chudamani given was Vivek, discrimination between the real and the unreal, changeless and the changing, infinite and the finite, permanent and the impermanent. That is discrimination. For that one changeless and the changing, so many verses were written for our benefit, because we are hard nuts to crack. That's why. To prove this impossibility of establishing ignorance and its existence, a number of examples are given in the next 3 OVs. Avaseche chandra bimbe nivaliliye shobhe kamandile zaise khambe shasha vishanache. By the light of the new moon, the hall was illumined, and the hall was supported by the horns of the hare. Is it possible that the hall is illuminated by the new moon, which is the first day after Amavasya? Sentence is made, but does it have any meaning? The son of a barren woman. Sentence, words are there, we have used it, but does it have any meaning? Son of a barren woman. The hall which was illuminated was supported by the horns of the hare. Can hare ever have a horn? Maybe in millions of years ago, but not today. Next example, Nana Gaganaula Chia Mala Vanze Chia Zalaya Gada Chapati to Sohada Pa Vijatase. The garlands of the sky flowers were put around the necks of the children of barren women, and thus they were enjoying the occasion. Same example has come. I use that example. So first example, the garlands made out of sky flowers, the flowers which are growing in space, in the sky. They were plucked from the sky and made into a garland, and they were put around whose neck? The children of a barren woman. And then what happened? Then they went to the village which was not existing between the two dry rivers. Again, story continues. You can keep adding to it. A small child will be very fascinated. A stupid fellow will also be very fascinated. Just like we are fascinated by this world. We are fascinated by our children, relationships, roles. Don't think this story is stupid. We are one of the characters of that story. We are fascinated by which is not, and living a fool's life. rather than being the conscious principle, rather than being the constant one. What are we running after? Is it not my duty as a mother? Is it not my duty? What is mother? Mother is existing in our own absence. But they said Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo. Lage raho. That was in the first Valli of Taittiriya Upanishad. After that, there are two more. Do your karma. It was also there in Bhagavad Gita, but it was in the second chapter. In subsequent chapters, karma was, we transcended karma. We expanded our mind. And we came to the conscious principle that we are. After coming to the conscious principle, but what about my karma? Then what can you do to that person? To that person you will say, karma is very important, you must do your duty, you must, till he doesn't get frustrated in this life or next life, or till he doesn't work it out for himself. Next example, आणूनी कासवीचे तूप भरूये आकाशाचे माप तरी साचा येती संकल्प ऐसे ऐसे. If the measuring vessel made of sky can be filled with the butter made out of milk of tortoise, then such possibilities of ignorance will come true. If all these examples were possible, and if one of them you can prove to happen, then there will be a possibility we can establish ignorance. This is what Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying. And here he gave the example of, in the vessel of the sky filled with the milk of a tortoise. Lage raho, find a tortoise which can give you milk. Someone tried to make clarified butter, ghee from the milk of a tortoise, or someone measured the milk by means of a vessel of space, etc. If these statements are meaningless, so is the statement that ignorance is present in the Atma. In other words, mind is present in the self. In other words, waking, dream and deep sleep are present in the self. Then what do I do now? No, don't do anything. Just accept and sit quiet. This is too much. It is. Thus, by any means of reasoning or logic, the existence of ignorance cannot be established either as reality or as supported by Atma, or as independent of both, or as companion to Atma, or through the effects of ignorance. Karyanumeya. Sant Jnaneshwara gets tired of saying the same thing again and again. This statement we have seen 2 times now. Before also he said, I am tired of saying the same thing. Again he goes. Some another brainwave of trying to put it across to the seekers. Now he is really exhausted. That's why the chapter is coming to an end. We'll conclude it in the next class. See? So don't, on one hand, we appreciate the words of Jnaneshwar Maharaj, but while appreciating, our attention should be on the conscious principle that we are, the constant principle that we are, the uncorrupted principle that we are, the all inclusive principle that we are, consciousness that we are, the unchanging consciousness that we are. It has to be up. You are that. Don't keep it as a conviction. While listening, be that. है ना मजेदार? Sit quietly for a moment. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ